them. We're also streaming from that SuperTalk Mississippi app, and of course you can always find us too on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. But don't forget to watch us when you're on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV, and if you enjoy blues music, which who doesn't enjoy that, you're in for a real treat today. Joining us today is Clayton White. He is a 13-year-old blues guitar prodigy, and he's also the founding member of the 662 Band out of Tupelo, Mississippi, and he's joining us today in the studio to share a little bit more. Welcome, Clayton.
Hey, how are you?
I have heard nothing but good things about you and your talent as well as your band, so I appreciate you taking the time to come down and for us to get to know you. But at 13 years old, I mean, to us old fogies, you're still young. So when did you first pick up the first guitar?
Well, I was probably about 8 years old when I took interest in guitar, but I've been playing music pretty much my whole life. I mean, I bounced around from violin and banjo and then finally found guitar.
So violin and banjo. Okay, so you obviously come from a family that appreciates music.
Yeah, I also played drums too, and that was my favorite up until guitar.
Up until guitar. So who in your family kind of encouraged the music?
Probably my dad. Mm-hmm. He plays a bunch of stringed instruments, and he got me started with all of my music.
So like bouncing around from all the different instruments, was it just you, Clayton, interested in them, or were you being encouraged to it? I'm just, most by 13 have only had, my daughter's 12, and we've only been introduced to the trumpet. So I'm kind of like wrapping my head around now 4 or 5 instruments. So was it kind of like a family affair, or you just have that natural knack for loving music?
Yeah, well, I've loved music since I was pretty much born. I mean, I've always loved that. And like, my parents don't have to make me practice. I just love it a lot. So I've always loved it.
I know your parents appreciate that. Okay, so when you landed on the guitar, was it just like, oh, this is for me, for you, Clayton?
Yes, ma'am, it pretty much was. I kind of just fell in love with it, and I had the bug, I guess.
The bug? Okay, what kind of guitar was your first guitar?
It was a Martin acoustic guitar. Mm-hmm. I started off with acoustic, and then I finally got an electric guitar from a garage sale, and that's what I really liked, and I kept on with that.
So for those of us who, I know the difference between acoustic and electric in terms of sound, but like playing-wise, how would you describe the difference in the experience for you playing the instrument?
Well, when I'm playing acoustic, it's a lot of time country music or like Americana, and it's just kind of it's just fun to play, mm-hmm. but it's not, to me, I like electric more, so.
It kind of gives you a little bit more oomph, right?
If you're just trying to relax, I mean, I play acoustic, but if I really want to, like, have a lot of fun, I play electric.
So did you teach yourself, or are you of the age that taught yourself off of YouTube, or did your dad teach you, get formal lessons, or maybe all of the above?
I would say all of the above. My dad started me out with just a few chords, and I started watching some YouTube videos, and now I have a teacher. I've had a teacher for a few years now.
Are you teaching the teacher yet, or is there still a lot to learn?
Not yet. He's a pro.
He's a pro. Who's your current guitar teacher?
Yeah, his name's Tony Hooper from Tupelo. He's a gold record producer, and he also he kind of migrates, I guess, from Nashville to Tupelo.
And all that. So, and Tupelo is your hometown. That's where you're
yes,
from.
Ma'am.
So when you found the electric guitar, obviously you were playing a little country when it came to your acoustic. When did you start sort of, I guess, branching out with the electric, like into the blues and sort of the other music that's significantly older than you are, Clayton, but still we all love it. So how'd you find your way to the blues?
Well, I started out on electric guitar playing rock, and with my band, Tony Hooper is my teacher, and he's on the blues trail, actually. So he kind of introduced me to that and taught me a lot of what I know now about the blues, and I just kind of was drawn towards the blues itself.
So you are the founding member of the 662 Band, 13 years old, and all of the wonderful people on your band, if they go to your website and sort of look through, are probably old enough to be your dad or maybe a little older. How did this band, and it's wonderful, I mean, you've got significant talent there. How did the band 662 come together, the 662 Band come together?
Well, I was, I think, 10 years old, and we wanted to start a band, and we had some people that we knew that were great, as Tony's in my band, and as well as somebody from the Mississippi School of Music, which is where I I was at with Tony, and that's how I met him, and just a few other people. So that was really how it started off.
So were you already playing gigs, John Clayton, prior to starting the 662 band, or did you, once the band got formed, you guys start going out and doing local shows and such?
Well, yeah, my first gig was at a festival in the mall parking lot, and I was with the Mississippi School of Music playing electric guitar, and there it was kind of a learning time when I was learning the ropes and stuff. And then I started the band, and we gigging probably once a month.
Now, so was it nerve-wracking? So it's one thing, you may enjoy an instrument and playing at home or playing with family and friends. It is another thing to take a stage and have people look at you and know the songs that's particularly that you play, know all the words. Is there stage fright that comes with that, or did it just feel like a natural place for you, John Clayton?
Yeah, well, the stage is a natural place for me. I don't really have stage fright anymore. Maybe like my first show, I was pretty much nervous. I was really nervous, and it kind of fades away, and I'm great. I don't get it anymore.
You don't get it anymore. So what's it like learning all these songs that are like you weren't even thought of whenever your mom and dad may not even met before, when they were being written in terms of like blues legends like B.B. King and some of the other things that you play?
Yeah, well, I try to be kind of seasoned in that kind of music, and we've always listened to music just around the house and in the car. So I just kind of was drawn to that kind of music. And
who are you listening to? Like on your, what is it? What do the young kids do? Y'all do, what do you do? Spotify? What's
Apple Music,
Apple
Spotify.
Music, Spotify. Listen to me telling my age. So like what's the difference in who's on your playlist?
Well, blues-wise, I listen to Kingfish, Ingram, Joe Bonamassa sometimes, everybody from B.B. King to Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's blues-wise. That's who I look up to, really. And, I mean, I like to listen to country sometimes, you know.
It's like there was a curveball. What would we not expect on John Clayton's playlist? It's there. Taylor Swift. You got 2 thumbs up from Rhino. I actually did that just for Rhino. Rhino's laughing at you. Now yes, that's fine. You're allowed to have your choices. But who would be a surprise that maybe it's not the genre that you play?
Maybe Morgan Wallen or Tyler Childers, maybe.
Yeah. There you go.
Some Zach Bryan, a little bit.
So I know back this time last summer, June of 2023, you got an offer of a lifetime to play at the reopening of a club in Indianola. What was that like, Club Ebony?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was probably my first huge show to me. It was with the Tedeschi Trucks and B.B. King's band, and that was just a unforgettable experience for me.
So when you get up there and you start playing, do you just feel like the legends are with you? And I know that may sound a little corny, but do you just feel, because again, you're in a club that's just got so much rich history and sort of all the blues, and you're 13, which I mean is just incredible. Can you feel the significance of that moment?
I definitely could, yeah. I realized how big of a deal that was prior to that, and I mean, I prepared for it as much as I could, and it was great. It was packed house, too. It was a packed house.
Which is always a lot of fun when it comes to that. So, but you're also writing your own music. It's not just about playing the greats, which I think everybody starts there. And then we always want to still hear it and have a new twist on it. But as you went into, would this be your first album that's fixing to come out?
Yes, ma'am.
When you went to prepare for it, what was kind of your inspiration? What were you kind of thinking of? This is John Clayton's first, studio album. What did you want it to be?
Well, I don't really know what to think at this point, It's kind of influenced blues rock-wise, and we have a few. One's called It Ain't Right and Flat Tires, and there's a few more as well.
Do you write your own music, or do you have, I know there's or maybe not all of it, but do you write some of your own music?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
So when did you start writing? So that's a whole nother level to this, because yes, you can play an instrument. Yes, you can sing. That's the second, tier. Then the third is like you also write. Have you been writing as long as you have been playing?
No, ma'am, I don't think so. I started a few years ago trying to write some stuff during quarantine.
Yeah. Which one on your album did you write?
I wrote Flat Tires and It Ain't Right.
And It Ain't Right. All right.
Well, I was co-writing with Flat Tires.
And that you haven't even had a flat tire. You can't even drive. Have you had a flat tire on your bike before?
I think so.
You think so? I hope so. Well, we've got more with John Clayton White, guitarist, coming up next.
I'm packing my things and I'll be gone.
Welcome back to Good Things, streaming live over at supertalk.fm. We're also streaming from that SuperTalk Mississippi app. You can always find us, too, on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. But don't forget to watch us. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. If you enjoyed that bumper music coming in, then you'll enjoy our guest, John Clayton White. He's lead guitarist and vocalist and songwriter with the band, the 662 Band out of Tupelo. But he's a little prodigy when it comes to the guitar. So that was your song, right, coming in?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that coming in?
That was called It Ain't Right.
It Ain't Right. And so you helped co-write that song as well, correct?
I did.
Good deal. So is it scarier to play something that's already been a hit that people have heard over and over again, like one of BB's legendary songs or something that someone already knows? Or is it more vulnerable to put out something that you've written yourself and people have never heard before?
Well, probably like a original, I would say.
Yeah.
There's some covers that you just can't mess up. You know, like
Try
Thrill's
me.
Gone is probably one of them.
Let me over there on that thing.
Sweet
and
Home
try.
Alabama.
Yeah, that people just know so well that they're singing along sort of with you and sort of going. Well, you brought your setup for us today here on Good Things. So I encourage people to go over to supertalk.fm if they want to watch you play, but also they'll get to hear you play. Okay, so set us up. So what are you fisting to sort of share with us in terms of your talent on the electric guitar?
Well, I guess I'll just mess around a little bit and play maybe a little riff or something like that.
So for us old fogies who don't know what that means, what's a riff?
Well, it's just me playing a little bit, and it won't be necessarily a song. Mm-hmm. It'll just be me
So
showcasing
it's kind of like what you do when you warm up, or like when you're just having fun on your own and just whatever's coming through your head, just you and the guitar kind of doing its
or
thing.
like a song, but it's just on guitar, you know,
I got you.
like a part of the song.
All right. You can put your headphones down and walk back over there if you want to, John Clayton. So we are going to hear John Clayton White. Again, he is a electric guitarist out of Tupelo, Mississippi. He's the founder of the 662 Band, and he is a prodigy when it comes to the electric guitar. And in his words, because it doesn't sound right, riffing, but he's going to...
Riffing.
Riffing. See, I'm not musical, but I can know talent whenever I see and sort of hear it. So take it away, John Clayton. Good job. Good job. All right. That was John Clayton. Again, if you're just tuning in with us here on Good Things, you can come back for just a second, John Clayton. He's playing on the electric guitar. Riffing is a new word. It's a new Did I say it right?
Riffing.
Riffing.
No T.
No T. What is rifting? That's rafting. Okay, laugh at me all you want to. Either way, I know that that's good and that people are enjoying it. And gosh, for you to only be 13 years old, John Clayton, I can see why folks are talking about you. So what is it, like for you, it just seems natural. Does it just come natural to you to be able to play the electric guitar?
Well, it takes a lot of hard work, I would say, but I still have some natural talent, I guess you could say.
You do,
But
absolutely.
I have to work at it. I play maybe 2 hours a day.
I was going to say, how much are we practicing?
About 2 hours a day.
About 2 hours a day. Do you have to practice? Is it like are you practicing songs or chords or placement or just sort of figuring things out? Like, how does a practice session look like for you?
Well, I mean, I practice my solos and I practice my chords and I play a lot. There's a difference between playing and practicing, you know.
Yeah.
I'm more on the playing side of it.
So has it felt like a job yet? Because I know you are obviously the founding member again of the 662 band. So you guys have already been gigging. You've been going around. You've got your first your first CD coming out, or I guess album, or EP as they call
EP.
it. So has it felt like a job yet, or does it still feel like a lot of fun?
I mean, I've loved pretty much every minute of it. Actually, I want it to be a job because that's what I plan on doing for my life and my career.
It's going that way. So it's the singer and songwriter way we have it set up today. We're not able to have you sing along with your playing. But what would you prefer, the playing the guitar or the singing part? Like, which one is your favorite?
Yeah, definitely playing guitar.
You're playing.
I love that.
So the singing part just like comes with it because you have to sing your song. It's sort of in that way. Well, who would be your like legendary opportunity to play alongside? Who's still with us? Like, I guess is still on this side of the dirt.
Maybe Kingfish Ingram or, I mean, Stevie Ray Vaughan's gone, but I would love to play with Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know. Mm-hmm. B.B. King, maybe.
Which Jeff and Pontotoc said we need to hook you up with Kingfish. Have you met Kingfish yet?
No, ma'am, but I hope I will.
You know, you never know who's listening to good things. So if Kingfish people is listening, or Kingfish, if you're listening to good things, we got a young man who would love to connect with you in that way. Let's talk about your band for just a second, the 662 band. Who all is it made up of?
Well, it's made up of me and my drummer, Rod Talley, and Tony is the rhythm guitarist, and Michael Vaughn on bass.
And how often are you said once a month, where all are you guys playing?
Well, we play at local restaurants and bars, and we played at the historic Corinth Coliseum on April 19th, I think that was, and that was probably our biggest show together as a band.
Biggest show yet. I think we're going to have bigger ones in your future. Okay, so I'm learning all kinds of new vocabulary words today. Riffing, no T, and then an EP. So back in my day, they said CD or album. So what's an EP?
So an EP is basically a short album or a mini album. It's 6 songs on that EP.
Okay. And so you've got your first EP that's being released this August. That's exciting. And you also is coming out in vinyl, which I think is really cool. So so you don't remember when vinyl was cool. You're 13 years old. But vinyl is making a comeback. But why was that intentional to choose that? Who is influencing you to release it on vinyl?
Well, people have told me it's kind of making a comeback, so we thought that would be something cool. Instead of a CD, people are kind of straying away from CDs now.
Yeah, we don't have the cute, cool visors anymore to keep them, organized over
and cars don't even have a CD player in them anymore.
Just hurting my heart, Rhino, just hurting my heart. Everybody's like, oh, man. No, but you are right. It is making a comeback. I'm going to assume that in your house, John Clayton, y'all probably grew up with vinyl and listening to the classics that way.
Probably my grandmother, her house.
Yeah.
She definitely did.
She definitely did. So tell us about the EP. 6 songs. Did you write them all?
Well, I
co-wrote, should I say, or have?
Well, I think 2 of them are my band member songs that we introduced to the band. So now they're a 662 band original, and we covered Pride and Joy, and we also did an original instrumental song. It's kind of a jazzy blues song, and we're calling it Leapfrog.
Leapfrog. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, you'll have to hear that one.
Cool. We may keep you around and let you play a little bit of that and some more. So the EP release. So if it's coming out on vinyl, how do folks buy it? They're not running to, will it be out like at your local record shop for those of us who still have those in our area? Or how can you get vinyl these days?
Well, I'm sure it'll be on the online store of mine. We haven't really talked about that as much because we don't have them print them yet.
So we got to get it. We got to get it here. But I'm going to guess too. There's going to be some kind of digital release as well, right? Yeah. Can people already stream any of your music online, John Clayton?
Not yet. We're still in the mastering, and that'll be releasing this summer.
If people wanted to go and get a taste of the 662 band or some of your performances, I know you're on social media. Where are you?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, pretty much everywhere. John Clayton White Music. And you can go see my website, johnclaytonwhitemusic.com.
So we have Shane in Tupelo on our text line, John Clayton, who says he saw you play at the Blue Canoe there in Tupelo and that you can jam. And so what's it like hearing that? What's it like hearing that from other people that are like enjoy and what you're doing and the work that you're putting out?
Well, I love it. I love to hear people giving their feedback to me and enjoying it, you know. That's one of the reasons I play, is to make people happy.
Well, I think the blues has been doing that since the beginning of time for sure, and you're definitely on the route of having a long and lasting career. But stick with us. We're going to let John Clayton White play a little bit more guitar for us coming up next. Welcome back to Good Things, streaming live over at supertalk.fm. Don't forget about that SuperTalk Mississippi app. You should download that. We're always on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station, but don't forget to watch us. We are on SuperTalk TV on your computer or your mobile device. If you've enjoyed the music coming in and out today here on Good Things, then you'll enjoy our guest. That's John Clayton White. He is the one behind all of the music. Him and his band, the 662. It's been a long week already here, John Clayton, but the 662 band out of Tupelo, and they're up to some really good things. So what did we just hear coming in, John Clayton?
Yeah, that was an original instrumental called Leapfrog.
Called Leapfrog. All right, and you're going to do a little playing for us again coming up, but also with this, you got your mom and your band manager, Allison White. So I was just asking you, Allison, at what point did you and your husband turn to each other and go, this isn't just a hobby for John Clayton, he's actually got some unnatural talent?
The first time that he took the stage by himself in a mall parking lot for a veterans fundraiser, just his acoustic, and he entertained the audience, he talked to them, he sang. My husband and I looked at each other and were like, okay, there might be more to this. And so at that point, we were like, we might need to get him, some real lessons instead of letting him watch YouTube and practice around at home. And so that's what kind of started it.
Because to you, he's your 13-year-old baby. He is your baby boy, the youngest of 6. What's it like watching him take the stage with and playing these sort of legendary things that you and your husband grew up with, sort of listening to? Is it pride, but also like you can't wrap your mind around it? That's your boy.
Most days, especially when he was on the stage with B.B. King's band. And we really, when he was invited to play, we didn't realize what a big deal that was. There were 250 people at Club Ebony, and it was packed out. And meeting Susan Tedeschi and Derek Trucks backstage, they're so personable, such great people, and just made John Clayton feel really comfortable. So watching him on stage with them, it was just a surreal moment, just unbelievable. But at the same time, we're proud, but I'm working when I'm there. I'm videoing, I'm taking pictures, I'm, managing fans that want his autograph, which is funny for a mom. For their 12, he was 12 at that point for his 12-year-old.
So now it's 13, a teenager at 13, but still growing in your talent that you've been sharing with us here today on Good Things. So what are you going to, you riffed for us last time. Did I get it right? Okay. So what are you going to do for this time, John Clayton?
I'm going to play one that probably all y'all know. It's called Pride and Joy.
Okay, Pride and Joy. All right, you can go get set up. If you want to turn your attention to SuperTalk TV, you can, and watch John Clayton play. Because of the way it's set up here in the studio, we can't have him sing for us, but that's okay. The talent is in the electric guitar and getting to share a little bits of that. Remember, he is on all social medias if you want to find him and follow him. I know in August his first EP drops, Learning New Words, here today on Good Things. All right, John Clayton, you can take it away. Good job. Jeff in Pontotoc says, Stevie Ray. Good job, John Clayton. So you're definitely right that folks recognize the music that you are playing. And so, Mom, it's one of those things. We all think our kids are good at certain things, right? But he really is. Like, did you have like a moment where you had to wrestle with, maybe I thought he was going to go one way in life, like school and all the things, but now this is just going to be a completely different road from him from here on out?
We've never really thought anything else other than just that he was going to be a musician. He makes incredible grades. He's great at school, but it's the music that's in his soul, and that's what he feels. That's what he's humming and tapping. I had to meet with his first grade teacher before he started and said, now look, he's going to tap. He's going to drum. You might want to move him away from the other students if it bothers him. And she was a very seasoned teacher and understood.
He said he loved the drums before he got the electric guitar. So from the in-house perspective, are we happy we went with the electric guitar over the drums?
His siblings definitely are.
I think either one you would have excelled at for sure. And I know that you and your band, the 662 band, you guys are going to be out all summer. Mom, you know those dates or at least those festivals and things. Mm-hmm. So for those listening that want to make plans to sort of see them, where all are they going to be this summer?
Sure. So they're going to be busy. This Friday is Elvis Festival in Tupelo, and a local restaurant has asked them to play again there. It's called Amsterdam Deli, so that'll start at 7 Friday. Next week, John Clayton and I will both be at a blues workshop called Pinetop Perkins. It's sponsored by the Pinetop Perkins Foundation, and it will be in Clarksdale. So he'll be playing with that group at Ground Zero next Friday night from 7 until midnight, late night.
Late night. You get to stay up past your bedtime.
Yeah, he does. In July, we will be in Jackson, Tennessee at Hub City Brewing, which will be a fun night. We haven't played there before, so that'll be cool. And then in August, he will be back at Club Ebony with the band to release his EP. We'll have an EP release party, and then they will play. That's a ticketed event, so tickets will be available on his website as well as Club Ebony's website soon through Eventbrite. After that, we'll be back in Tupelo the next week in August for his North Mississippi EP release party at Blue Canoe, and that'll be 9:30 until 12:30. He's got a couple of festivals coming up. He's got the Buckle White Blues Festival in October, which will be in Aberdeen. They're the opening act there, and then they will be opening at the Boonville Fall Festival in October as well. The end of October, John Clayton and I set sail for the Caribbean for the legendary Rythm and Blues Cruise.
Tough life.
Yeah, so we will be, we are super excited that he will hopefully get the opportunity to play. Kingfish will be on the cruise with us, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Mr. Sip, a lot of big names, Allie Venable.
Sounds like you may get your opportunity to meet your Kingfish
yes, ma'am.
there. He'll be on a boat, so you can just, he ain't got far he can go. So, no, don't track him. That's weird. Don't do that. But I hope the opportunity will obviously present itself for you, John Clayton. Okay, so I get it. You love music. You've always loved music, but you're also 13. So if John Clayton is not playing music or practicing, what are we doing? What's our fun hobbies? What do we enjoy?
Yeah, this time of year I like to fish and I like to hunt and play a little bit of sports.
So I know you're the baby of 6. What's it like being the youngest of a big family?
Well, I guess you get roughed up a lot, and especially a few years ago. I don't get roughed up as much now. I've got bigger. So
no wonder you're not afraid of standing on stage in front of other people. You've got some thick skin. I think that. But Mom said that your brothers and your siblings are big supporters of yours. What's it like looking out in the crowd or knowing that your family is behind you?
Well, I guess it's just a comforting feeling, seeing them there, supporting me, doing what I love.
Do they ever give you pointers, like song pointers, or like what they like or don't like?
They do.
They do? Do you listen?
I do. It's good. It's good to help me with that kind of stuff.
In that way. All the other children, Mom, were they musical inclined? Were y'all a musical family? It had to come from something this is, obviously an anomaly, but was this just a culture of your family for music?
It really has been. His grandmother, my husband's mother, was actually a fantastic pianist back in her day, and she took harp lessons at age 50. So she went back and learned to play the harp at 50 and played professionally at weddings. So that was neat. My husband was musical all through high school and had a band in college and all, and chose to be a physician instead of a musician. So he chose a different path. John Clayton's uncle is also musical and has a band. My sister went to Delta State on a music scholarship. She played the piano for one of their music groups there called Renaissance and toured in Europe with them. So he's got music on both sides of the family.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely. It just took it all trickling down to the baby to be able to birth in the way that it is. All right, stage-wise, in terms of like, where do you like your dream? Like, where do you want the 662 band to be able to play one day? Like, what is like the ultimate gig?
Well, I hope I can eventually play in my career at maybe Madison Square Garden.
Aim
Those
big.
kind of big arenas. I would love that.
You think you would still be like, so for, you got 250 people at Club Ebony, and then you're gonna have like what? It's 250,000. That's a lot of people, but like thousands of people. Would you still like not have the stage fright?
I doubt it. I think I feed off the crowd, really.
I'll have it for you. Mom's like, I'll have it for you in the background. So do you and your band have any fun, like little rituals or behind the scenes things that y'all do before every gig?
I mean, we just get up there and have fun, you know. We don't really get scared before it or anything. We just
But
get
no,
up
like
there.
pregame Cheetos and Mountain Dew, or you know, like something that you do to sort of getting in the zone or anything like that.
Well, we eat together and we talk through the show and we hang out and just have a good time, I guess. That's basically what we do. Can you think of anything?
It's wonderful, too, to have a professional musician in the mix. I mean, Tony is a pro. He tours with Orleans, which is fun, you know, just to have that energy from him being a professional touring musician about how you act behind stage, what you do before a show. You know,
Well, everybody has been complimentary, John Clayton, of how polite you have been today. So the Raisin's doing right. And we wish you nothing but the best. We will be following you. So whenever I call, when you get up to the big stage, you know, you guys got to call in and check in with us, okay?
Yes, ma'am, I will.
All righty. Well, where's that website we can go, Mom, to get all things John Clayton?
Yeah, it's johnclaytonwhitemusic.com.
And that's August that your EP releases. Look at me. All right, you guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.
Thank you.